Yes, I'm back to the UK. I'm back to YouTube. All right. So just got back from Egypt a couple of days ago. I got my cartouche on. It's a necklace, but the cartouche is basically the symbol that kings were allowed to write their names in. So royalty would write their names in. So whenever they find a mummy or a tomb or whatever, and the person's name is written in a cartouche, that would have to be royalty, right? So that's why I got the cartouche, because I'm a king. But anyway, that's just a little detour. So I'm back in the UK now. I needed a few days just to like focus on traveling, getting back safely, for remembering everything, and that's why I've been a bit away from YouTube for a few days. But I'm now back into the flow, and I wanted to start off with a very simple hack and something that's going to really help you with your online business if that's what you do. And it's something that's quite understated. A lot of people don't really talk about it, but so, and I realized that, and I wondered, oh, that's interesting that people don't talk about it, and that's probably why I made the mistake when I first got into it. But then again, people weren't making YouTube and content as freely as they are now. So when I started online coaching or learning about online coaching, I glamorized the having your own office life, right? Because my mentors at the time, they all had them, and yeah, it just seemed like a cool thing, because when you're when you're a PT, right, it's like you're 24/7 on that gym floor, bro. Like you're just on that gym floor, you're working hard, like do you know what I mean? Like you're lifting up weights, you're just doing a bag of different things. And that's like your office, right? So, unless you've come from a corporate background, and what I realize, a lot of people that come from the corporate side into the PT side, don't, or they come from another job, whether they was a teacher or whatever, but if they've come from some sort of office job to then being a PT, then they less get sucked into it. I actually hear them say like, oh, I hate the thought of working on a laptop, or I hate working on a laptop, I'd rather be blah, blah, blah. But I was the other way around, because I hadn't done it before. I hadn't done that office life. So I just like the idea of having your own office. You got your logo behind you. You got your laptop set up. Boom, I was glamorizing it. And actually, when I didn't have the resources to have an office, or a little place room in my house called an office, I would use cafes, because I had to, right? Like, I do work at home, but like, I'm in the living room or in the bedroom, like crouched up. So, I had to use the cafes. And what I realized is I was busy focusing on what I had, like, or what I didn't have, versus like the benefits of what I currently do have. So that's a lesson for me now, even in the future. So traveling taught me this one hack about the offices, and it's because I realized, like, I'm in my Airbnb, I got the setup of an office, and I'm doing my thing, and I don't know, I think after like 3 weeks or even a month in the first location, I just realized that, like, I don't even like this whole office thing, man. It's just, you get sucked in, you're in the same four walls, and because of that stupid, like, doing that, like, I didn't even realize, like, I forgot about how many co-working spaces that there were, because I only searched one at the time in Phuket, and I had an idea of that, and that was like 40 minutes away. But can you imagine, I completely forgot the whole idea of cafes, like internet, same way we've got in the UK, we've got Starbucks and Costa. I forgot the whole idea that I can just find an internet cafe local to me, or another co-working space. And it was actually my last week in Phuket that I found an amazing co-working space. I'll put the video in this, and it's so interesting, because it was what they did is they partnered up with an interior design company. So all the decor inside of the cafe was essentially like Italian, interior, like nice, like sofas and chairs and tables and everything like that. So had a lot of light going through it, and it was just nice. You could just chill there and do work, and I would have been 100 times more productive. They even had like nice, jazz music playing, like just a proper great place to focus, right? And I didn't realize that for the whole time. I was just busy in my Airbnb working away, just losing, and I was motivated, I was cool. But now I'm going to get to the reason and what the optimum routine is. So the reason why the whole office life is shit is because, as an online business owner, a creative person, when it comes to online business, ideas push you forward. You understand? We've seen like real great growth in the last 2-3 months, and it's mainly because we've just opened our minds. Like, we've just like said, look, forget all what we think we know, forget the box that we think we're in. What needs to be done? What can we do to just fly high? and we just start every day or every week with that blank canvas of like, what do we need to do? And we're fluid and we're flexible, and we can just, and you know, and we bring ideas to the table, we weigh them up, we see if it makes sense, and we just get to it. So it's just a certain flexibility, a certain fluidity, and it needs your brain to be in a really open and creative space. And if you're stuck in the same four walls every day, 4 days a week, and you know that it's gonna you're gonna do that for, and that's what you're expecting for the next 30 days, 60 days, year. You're just thinking, this year I'm gonna be in my room, and a lot of you don't even have the offices like to order a room, so you've just got this place in your home that like is, you just got your laptop on it, and yeah, it looks all nice, you set it up tidy, but your brain just thinks that, well, to have a great year I need to be glued to this desk for 365 days, and like it's almost like prison. It don't make no sense. You're not gonna, how are you gonna be creative? How are you gonna think of great ideas? How are you gonna be like, you know, just like, even how are you gonna appeal to people? Because a big part of selling any type of online service business, whether it may be fitness, is just appealing to people, like attracting energy, like attracting people to you or want to work with you because of you, your lifestyle. I'm not saying spending money or flashy stuff. I'm just saying like living a good life. So even if you're a fitness trainer, it's no good you're just in shape but then you're just boxed into your little desk and, you know, you just go to the gym. That no one gonna want I don't want that type of life. But if you flow, you move around, people see that you're very, you know, you're always doing different things, you're always out and about, you're always smiling, you're always, you know, creative, that draws people to you. So long story short, that's why the office lifestyle, glamorizing it, is fucked up. Do not do it. The optimum routine for me, if I was to go back in time, would be I would use a co-working space for calls. So like a co-working space, you can get them for like 10 to 15 pounds a day. There's loads, just to Google it, and you can find them like I said, 10 to 15 pound a day, depending if you live in London or something. Of course it's a bit more expensive maybe, but you could still find one, right? But I use those for calls. The reason I wouldn't use a cafe for calls is because that was one of the things that the reasons why I stopped using the cafes, and I didn't like the cafes, because there's so much background noise. You can't really get into a sales call, which is a very important part of your business. But I didn't really understand co-working spaces back then and realize how to utilize things, because even if I couldn't afford to pay to use a co-working space 5 days a week, I could have just used it for my call days. And a big thing is I used to take calls every day. If I was going back in time now, I wouldn't take calls every day anyway. So I would use a co-working space a couple times a week. Then I would use a cafe, internet cafe, or sorry, not internet cafe, like a general cafe, Starbucks, Costa. If you can find a better one, a more boutique one, I would try and use that to do my deep work. Anything that needs to be done, landing pages, emails, client programming, I would use a cafe for that. And then home would just be a backup, man, for like days where I ain't got time to run, like I'm in a rush, so I can't, you know, go to a cafe and then come back. I can't afford that travel time, or you know what I mean, or it's just more convenient, or I just feel like a change of environment today, so I don't mind being at home and just getting the work done like I'm doing today. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? For me, so that would be the optimum routine for me, and that keeps you out and about. It keeps you out of the house. It keeps you moving, seeing different environments, meeting different people. You might be at a cafe one day or a co-working space, and you just start chatting to someone and they're in a completely different industry to you, but the conversation just sparks something up, and you don't realize how much those little conversations influence you, you know what I mean, and influence your way of thinking, and you know, it just really helps. So that's why office work is dead or being in the same office is a bit, I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're starting an online business, and you think that's the only way to go, man. If you liked and enjoyed this, like, share and subscribe. Peace.